Hey everybody, welcome back to theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Again, it's theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Keep your questions coming in. Today I got a question regards to budgets and contracts. I've talked about this topic before. It's about the difference between refundable startup fees and non-refundable startup fees for research clinics. So let me explain both of them to you just briefly, and then tell you which one I prefer and which one probably would be best for you depending on where your company is in its stage of existence. Okay, so a non-refundable startup fee is what I prefer. It's just what it sounds like. You usually are given a fee up front before you even start the study. It's somewhere between $2,500 to $5,000, and it's supposed to cover things like training your staff members for the upcoming protocol, completing regulatory documents, accommodating monitors and everyone's time for the investigator meeting, the site selection visit, the site initiation visit. It's supposed to cover those costs and really nothing else, which is why it's non-refundable. So before you start the study, you're given, depending on what you negotiate, I try to negotiate this around $5,000, but it's anywhere from $2,500 to $5,000. You're given a check before any study activities occur. Usually you have to invoice this as well, so make sure you invoice it as soon as you can, as soon as you execute that contract, even before the site initiation visit. Usually in the contract it says once contract is executed, you may submit an invoice, so I would submit that invoice right away and not wait, unless you don't mind waiting for your money a little longer. I don't. So this is a fee you get, startup fee, and it's never taken back from you. It's never deducted out of your future payments, unlike a refundable startup fee, all right, which is typically more than a non-refundable startup fee. Usually in a refundable startup fee, they'll give you the entire amount of one completed subject. So let's say you have a 10-visit study and you negotiated in your budget about $10,000 to be paid per completed subject. So you'll get in a refundable startup fee an advance for one completed patient, usually $10,000. However, this will be deducted from future visits. So I don't like using this as my startup fees to finance my companies, because I don't like to feel like I'm already starting from behind when I start a study. So if you receive one of these refundable startup fees, basically you know that the first subjects that you randomize, the first one subject that completes, is not really revenue that you're going to be getting. You've already received it. So you actually have to enroll 2 subjects to start getting some profit. This strategy can work and does prove beneficial for research sites that are brand new, that have absolutely zero startup capital, and it's a good way for them to get a larger startup fee as opposed to the non-refundable one of $2,500 to $5,000. Usually you get like $10,000 to even $21,000 depending on what you negotiated for the cost of one completed subject. Okay, and this is not to be confused. These are all industry-sponsored trials. They're not to be confused with academic clinical research. You wouldn't believe how many people who come from the world of academia and want to start their own private research clinic, they assume that just because in the academic world, when they do research, they get grants up front, the cost of an entire study. So let's say it's $250,000 or $500,000 grant. They think that that can happen in the private industry clinical research company model, and that is the furthest thing from the truth. I wish that's the way it was. It's not the reality for private industry sponsored clinical trials and clinical research companies. Grants are strictly for academic institutions and some nonprofit organizations, okay? So hopefully this question helps clear up some confusion between refundable fees and non-refundable startup fees, and let me know if it does, all right? Dan from theclinicaltrialsguru.com. Take care.